You can be plant-based and be healthy without also spreading misinformation. Here's the issue. Here's a can of chickpeas. That says 100 grams of chickpeas. So let's just take that number, and on its face it looks like 100 grams of chicken versus 100 grams of chickpeas. And you're thinking, okay, well obviously I'm not going to eat the chicken breast raw, and obviously I'm not going to eat the chickpeas dry, so 100 grams of cooked chicken and 100 grams of cooked chickpeas, okay? That's what we're dealing with here, right? That's what you would assume, because that's what is in there, right? They're saying 100 grams of chickpeas has 19 grams of protein. Well, according to this can, one serving size is half a cup, okay? How much protein is in half a cup? It's 6 grams. Well, not only that, it's 130 grams, all right? Okay, no big deal. What's the big deal then? It includes the liquid. How do I know that? Well, I did a little thing to show you guys. That is an entire can of chickpeas, but one serving is 130 grams. So they're saying that this can only has 2 servings in it. Does that make sense? Right? You with me so far? So it says that there is around 3.5 servings per container, but there's only 260 grams worth of product. So where do they get these numbers? If you actually look up the National Center for Biotechnology Information, I believe is the name for that. Hold on a second. How much? So we're just gonna do this right now. We're just gonna do this right now together. How much protein is in 100 G of chickpeas? If you look at the top, if you just do a quick Google search, it says 100 grams of chickpeas has 19 grams of protein. So who's lying? Who's lying? The internet or the can? All the numbers are wrong. All of the numbers are wrong. Why are the numbers wrong? So what we need to do is we actually need to find an actual source of information. You don't just Google something and then just go with the first result. You look for credible sources. You got to look for places. So let's see. Where are we at? NCBI. All right. Table 1. So there's a table here. NCBI chickpeas. Value per 100 grams. Look at this shit. Value NCBI 100 grams of chickpeas cooked. 8.86 grams of protein. What's this number? Huh? Oh, 20.47 grams of protein dry per 100 grams. So where do you think they got that 19 number from, huh? They got it from the dry. They're comparing 1 cup of cooked chicken, because you're not gonna eat chicken raw unless you wanna get salmonella poisoning, to 100 grams of dry chickpeas. That's what they're comparing to. They're full of shit, all right? And this number isn't even right either, because half of that shit's water. 260 grams of actual food in here. So when you're doing your little, I don't want to say you're doing your little measurements. I don't want to be little people that are actually keeping track of this stuff. I keep track of this stuff. It's important, okay? The numbers are off, whatever. But when you're doing this, when you're typing this in, and you type in your how many calories, how do you know that this 120 is actually the calories? If they're including the juice in the servings and they're including the juice in everything else, then how do you know that you're actually eating the calories that this thing says? You don't. They do this to make things look better and nicer. They're making it look like I could eat they're making it look like I can eat 1 can of this and end up with, what, 21 grams of protein per can, right? Okay, so even at 21 grams per can, even if I take their measurements, right? And by the way, not only am I a chef, which is one of the reasons I'm pissed off about this, but I also lift weights, which is why I'm focused on the protein. Even if I assume that 21 grams of protein is in 1 can of chickpeas, I could take 2 4-ounce portions of cooked chicken, so 8 ounces of cooked chicken, and get 62 grams of protein for myself, which is way beyond what the average person needs. But like I said, I lift weights, so I want more protein. Even if this was right, I would have to eat 3 cans, 3 full-ass cans, including the water, of these to equal 8 ounces of chicken. I am not doing this to knock plant-based diets and vegan diets. My point is, this has way less, okay, so this has way less saturated fat, okay? This has more nutrients, more fiber, less saturated fat. Overall, chickpeas are a lot better for you, okay? But they do this thing with the protein, and I don't understand why they need to do this. They can just say, you can eat chickpeas and not clog your arteries, and that would be good enough. You don't need to compare vegetables to meat. You don't need to compare vegetables to meat, okay? Meat is its own thing. It has its own nutrients. It has its own nutrient density. It's convenient for other reasons. Veggies are also convenient. Veggies are full of low-calorie dense foods, and they're amazing, and they fill you up, and they provide a shitload of nutrients without clogging your arteries. That's amazing. So why not just, like, tell the truth? I'm sick of these lies. I'm sick of these infographic lies, and if I see any more, I'm gonna call them out, because I'm pissed. I'm sick of it, okay? I'm a cook. I have to know the weight of this thing, because if I go and make hummus, if I go and I make hummus for somebody, I have to know how much weight is actually in here, okay? If somebody is on a special diet, I have to know what the nutrients actually are when I make this. That's it, just a short rant. Chef Jay with Roasted. Follow me at The Real Millennial Chef. I have pictures of catering and plant-based foods and plant-based cooking and stuff like that, but there is pictures of meat. If you are plant-based or vegan, just be warned. There is other stuff on there besides plant-based stuff, but I do have like plant-based wraps and vegan dishes and stuff there too. Also pictures of myself every now and then, so if you want to see my ugly face all the time, you can. It's at The Real Millennial Chef, and until next time, I am out.